friends, and welcome back to another video from my series Quick Thoughts On, in which I always talk about different stories from the rich Star Trek universe. Last week, the next episode of Star Trek Lower Decks premiered. It was called Moist Vessel, and these are my honest opinions about it. You know what? I didn't like episode 1, but I enjoyed episodes 2 and 3. I thought that every episode we have seen so far was better than the previous one. So, was episode 4 better than episode 3? Well, it took me almost 5 days to watch the 20 minutes long episode. There is nothing more painful to watch than an unfunny comedy. Oh wait, maybe there is, for example, watching an unfunny Star Trek comedy. I know I repeat myself, but I still consider this to be proper Star Trek, so I am reviewing it as it was a proper Star Trek. Why? Well, because it was promoted as a proper Star Trek show. So I expect Star Trek stories with Star Trek characters doing Star Trek things. And some of them should be funny. I love watching all of the bonus features on the official DVDs and Blu-rays. And there is one consistent thing which people say about Gene Roddenberry, and that was that basically all of the TNG writers complained that Roddenberry used to return their pitches for stories and sometimes even whole scripts with the words like this is not Star Trek, or this situation would never happen in the Star Trek universe. It took me a while, but now I feel like I understand these words. The main character is not a Star Trek character. Beckett Mariner is an awful person who would never, under any circumstances, be in Starfleet, but we should believe that she's a proper Star Trek character and a proper Starfleet officer. None of these characters make any sense, they are absolutely unrealistic, and while some people will find them funny, I find them annoying. As I said in one of the previous videos, I like humor which makes sense in the world in which it takes place. Nothing here is realistic, nothing here makes sense in the laws of the Star Trek universe, and therefore nothing here is funny. At least for me. As I always say, if you find this hilarious, good, I'm happy for you, but I don't. So, I guess I should actually talk about the story, right? Well, we start with a mission briefing. The Cerritos and another ship commanded by a Tellarite, whose name is absolutely irrelevant, found an old alien ship filled with frozen alien mummies and a liquid which turns anything into a living being. We are something like 20 seconds in, and the existence of this magic potion pissed me off so much that I turned it off last Thursday. Idiots who don't know the difference between science fiction and fairy tales have no right to be writing sci-fi. This is not the first time New Trek introduced us to some magic BS. Discovery had things like a spacesuit which has unlimited data storage capacity and the ability to somehow throw a planet-sized sphere at a starship. Picard has introduced us to androids with magic wands which can make anything you wish, and I just had enough. This should not be Harry Potter, this shouldn't be The Lord of the Rings, this should be Star Trek. Anyway, I tried to watch it on Friday again, after I calmed down, so the story continues with us getting to the briefing room, where the officers are being informed about the mission, and guess what? Mariner starts to intentionally yawn. Intentionally, as in with an intention of being annoying, and annoying everybody around her. Can somebody please shoot her? I am serious, I want this character to die. We haven't finished the teaser yet, and I had to turn it off again. And I continued on Monday. It's Tuesday evening, I'm writing the script. Can anybody who likes this character please tell me why? And that's a genuine question. Am I the only one who is bothered by the insane lack of realism? I mean, why is she in Starfleet? She obviously hates her job, so why is she in Starfleet? Why didn't she leave years ago? Do the writers know that these people are on the ship from their own will and can leave whenever they decide? How did she actually get to Starfleet? Do they know that nepotism should no longer exist in the time and universe in which this takes place? Her mother, the captain, talks with the commander about getting rid of her. That makes sense, but why now? Why not years ago? go. So he comes with an idea to give her the worst jobs on the ship, so that she herself requests a transfer, and the captain steals the idea and pretends it's hers. Hey, where are all the feminists who claim that men always steal the ideas from women? Anyway, here comes the only positive part of the episode, the torturing of Mariner. I hate this character so much that I honestly enjoy to see her suffer, and the Christian part of me feels a lot of shame for it. But as always, there is a B story, this time involving the green chick. Tandy, I think is her name. She was the worst part of the trailer and really bad in episode 1. However, she was much more tolerable in episodes 2 and 3. What the hell had they done to her in this episode? I mean, she looks and behaves like a hamster on cocaine. After seeing a few scenes with her, I honestly can't decide who do I hate more, if Mariner or Tandy. Why doesn't she just shut up? Watching a character with a squeaky high-pitched voice is as funny as sitting in a dentist chair and listening to the dental drill. Please shut up. Also, thankfully she bothers someone else than Rutherford. I actually thought that Rutherford will be spared from any embarrassing actions, and then I have seen a scene in which he points his finger at his dessert and screams, pudding. This is 2020 comedy, y'all. Pointing at your food and screaming, pudding. Why can't I come up with something so hilarious? I could be a rich Hollywood writer. So, who does Tandy harass in this episode? A Steven's Universe guy? I bet he has a name, but let's just call him Steven Universe. Like, these designs were not awful enough already. We need to have somebody who looks like that. And he wants to ascend, because this is now X-Files or some similar crap. Yes, he wants to ascend to a higher form of existence, and he wants to achieve it with meditating, because all of the Buddhists know how to turn into something more than human, apparently. So she goes to watch him meditate, is extremely annoying to everybody, then she sees a shiny thing, so she has to jump up and check it. Of course, she destroys the guy's mandala, on which he worked for years, and he throws her out. She brings him later a metronome, and he smashes it to pieces, and the show is trying to turn him into the bad guy and her into his victim. I'm sorry, I'm absolutely on the bad guy's side. Seriously, what about behaving like an adult and taking responsibility for your actions? She harasses him for the rest of the episode because he dares to say he is still mad at her for destroying something he worked on for years, and she says it openly. She can't stand that there is somebody who doesn't like her. I don't like to repeat myself, but grow the F up. These people are supposed to be adults. Why are they behaving like 10-year-olds on drugs? Why are these women in Starfleet? They clearly don't belong there. Mariner needs some good spanking and Tandy needs ZX or something. Anyway, the Tellarite captain does something stupid because he's a man, and men are all stupid, arrogant, and incompetent. He does something I absolutely don't remember what, and I don't care enough to check it online, but the result of his action is that both ships get flooded by the liquid, which starts to transform them, and they even call it terraform, because they can't be bothered to check the meaning of words they're using. Mariner, who got promoted to lieutenant by her mommy captain as a punishment, gets trapped with her, and they have to save the day as a team. They clean up the ship using script magic, and everybody's safe. The Steven Universe guy saves Tandy's life, which I guess is the reason why he ascends, because now it's possible somehow, and this is a thing which can happen in a sci-fi comedy. And of course that scene takes an extremely uncomfortably long time, during which nothing funny happens, unless you find screams of terror to be funny. So in the end, an admiral with an accent congratulates to Mariner and the captain, and because he pronounces sensors as sensors, Mariner starts to be bitchy again. She makes fun of a person with a bad accent, or more precisely with an accent she doesn't like. She makes fun of her superior officer. She doesn't stop when her mother tells her to stop. She doesn't stop when her captain gives her a direct order to stop. And she's the hero, everybody. God, I hated this one. This episode was painful to watch. I managed to watch a few seconds on Thursday, a few seconds more on Friday, a few minutes on Monday, and I forced myself into finishing it today, meaning Tuesday. But because of the time I'm recording this, I will probably upload this on Wednesday. I have to say that even though I was optimistic after the last two episodes, this one was the worst episode they have produced so far. I was thinking that I should list what I did like about this episode, and the only, and I mean only, thing I liked was the montage sequence where Mariner was given the worst jobs. And it wasn't funny, it was just a good feeling to see a horrible character actually getting punished for her disgusting behavior. So, overall, on my standard scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is complete garbage, 10 is a masterpiece and 5 is just average, I would give this episode 1 out of 10. I'm sorry, I need to go work on something positive. I have started to work on my next all versions of video. I think I'm going to finish it and hopefully it will be able to upload it on Thursday. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to do something positive with my life because I absolutely need it after seeing this episode. Take care everybody, bye.